name is Jim Green, and I'm a gunsmith. The name of my shop is Gunworks in Harrington, Maine. Today's rifle we're going to talk about disassembly for cleaning is the Winchester 1873 lever action. The 1873 lever action is about the second to the last gun that was an actual Winchester design before John Brown was hired by the company. The model 1873 was also known as the gun that won the West, primarily because in the 46-year production run, there was over 720,000 of these rifles made. The rifle that I have here that I'm going to disassemble is actually an Italian-made model, Uberti reproduction. It's a modern gun. But all of your Winchester 73s are going to disassemble basically the same as this. This rifle here is in 45 Colt, or what people refer to as long Colt. That's a cartridge the gun was never originally offered in. At one point, the model 1873 Winchester was also offered in 22 rimfire, and that's kind of a rare variant. So what we're going to do is disassemble this rifle for cleaning. I'm not going to concentrate very much on the removal of the magazine, the handguard and stuff in the front. Winchesters are all going to be basically the same. This particular model, you can drive this little pin out the front and remove the dovetail. There's a slotted screw to remove the magazine spring and the plug. And this screw here, and this one over here, you can remove the rifle cap. If it was a carbine, you'd have a little band around it. And the handguard slides off the front. What we're going to concentrate on, though, is a lot of people like to shoot these rifles in cowboy action shooting, and they get pretty dirty inside. I've had a couple of folks request a video on how to disassemble this for cleaning. So before we start with any other gun that I've ever done a video on, first thing you want to do is open the action, make sure the gun's empty. Okay, what we're going to do first is remove the buttstock. And we'll get a screwdriver and get started. There's a little screw in the top here. You just remove that. Now, if you have a hard time remembering where your screws go, because there's a lot of screws in this gun, then you can just simply take them off and lay them out in order on the table as you take them off. Oh, sorry, getting ahead of myself. Take the other screw out of the bottom right here. Getting ahead of myself just a little bit. Just take the buttstock and set it off to the side there. Next thing you want to remove are the two little cover plates. And that'll be on the left-hand side of the receiver. You'll see a screw right here. This screw goes all the way through and into the other side. You can just reach through and push the other side out. Now these plates are grooved in the front, and they'll fit in the front of the receiver and just push right in and lock down. Now if you need to remove your loading gate, you can remove this screw here at this time, but all I'm doing is just taking it apart for cleaning, so a lot of these parts I'm not going to remove. Now you look inside, and these guns right here are what they call toggle action. As soon as you pull the lever down, how the toggles move back and the bolt reciprocates. So what you'll do is reach inside with a little pick. This gun's pretty tight. What you do is reach inside. It's going to make a liar out of me. You pull this pin right here and remove your toggle. That little pivot pin, you set that off to the side. Once you get one out, the other side just about basically just falls right out. So we keep those pins separate. And then you're going to have the lever. You can loosen these two spring screws right here on the bottom. And one thing you might want to keep in mind when you take these screws out, sometimes it's easy to booger them up and you may end up having to get some replacements. But we'll set all these off here as well. Some aftermarket parts for these Uberti guns. Brownell sells a really nice short stroke kit and sells a new wire spring kit you can replace these little leaf springs with. You can really slick these things up and make them run fast. They seem to be one of the more popular guns, or at least in this area for cowboy action shooting. This one seems to be pretty gummy on the inside. Okay, and then the next thing you can do is you can remove this screw here and take the lever out. Now, once your lever is removed, you reach right inside here and you have the lifter. Let's get the bolt backing out of the way a little bit. We can push that up. Pull the lifter straight back out of the lifting block. And your block you can take right out the bottom. Push your bolt forward, let the hammer down, and then you can remove this screw. Well, sometimes it's easier then to go ahead and just release the tension on your hammer spring. Sometimes I can get this to come out in one whole piece, sometimes I can't. So what we're going to do is turn this screw right here and remove the hammer spring. I like getting it out of there in one whole piece if I can. Now you'll notice your spring has a little stirrup right here that's going to hook on the hammer, and I'll show you that in a minute when we get it out. There we go. Unless you really need to disassemble this, for cleaning, it's easy to clean it with some compressed air and powder blaster. But right here is that little stirrup I was telling you about that the hammer spring hooks onto. Just right there. This can all be cleaned simply by just spraying some solvent in here and compressed air to get all the powder residue and crud out. Because actually these videos are not designed to teach you gunsmithing. This is how you maintain your rifle and keep it up and running. Now the next step we're going to cover is removing the bolt from the rifle, and you might think it's a little convoluted, but we're going to go through the steps pretty carefully here. You'll notice on the Winchesters they've got this sliding dust cover on the top. So what we'll do is first off we'll remove this screw. Okay, that's a really small screw, so we'll set that off to the side. Now when you go to slide your dust cover back, you'll notice that you've got a little ball and spring detemp. And it'll stop right there. Just take you a pin punch, okay, push that down to clear the hole for the screw. And then put your finger over it so you don't pop that ball out of there and lose it because it's under spring tension. Just very carefully slide your dust cover off and remove it. And when you move your finger, you'll notice there's a little detemp ball and a spring. Don't lose these. Once you have that removed, okay, let me find a little pick here. there's a little block right here in front that you want to remove. This is how your bolt and extractor is going to clear when you remove it. We'll set that off to the side as well. Now, on the side of the bolt up here in the head, where the bolt extension's out, or firing pin extension, whatever you want to call it, there's going to be another little pin right here. You should be able to just push that right out. Let me get my pliers to pull that pin out. You'll see what I'm saying right here. Okay, set that off to the side. Once that pin's out, you'll be able to remove the back part of the bolt right there. And then turning the gun back over, reach inside, pull the bolt by hand all the way back till it stops. And you can just work it down and out. Then the firing pin and the firing pin return spring on these Ubertis will be in the back. You can see it's pretty darn filthy in there. I shoot this gun a lot. So that's how to disassemble one of these 1873 Winchester rifles for cleaning. And like I said, you'll notice it gets shot quite a bit. Needs a pretty good cleaning. What I have here is a model 1876 Winchester lever action, and the reason I'm including this is to let you know that this is also a Uberti made gun. This was in caliber 50-95. The rifle's here having some work done to it. The reason I'm showing this is to let you know that these rifles disassemble exactly the same as the Model 73s. You can see that it's also a toggle link gun, and it's considerably larger. Whereas the Model 73 lever action is in pistol caliber, the Model 76 actions are in rifle caliber. Mostly 40-65, 45-75, and in this particular case, 50-95. And they're pretty good rifles. I like them. This was the last toggle link action that Winchester produced prior to John Browning signing on with the company and making the model 1886, and then the downscaled version 1892, and the ubiquitous 1894s. But these actions right here are not really designed for a real high power, high pressure cartridge because they use toggle links for lockup. So I wanted to include that here, so anybody who does have a model 1876, you can pretty much disassemble it the exact same way as a Model 73. Because all it is just a larger, beefier version. Thank you for watching this latest Gunworks video. Down East Gunworks is a full-service fire and repair service for all your long guns and handguns that includes a high-tech machine shop for tooling obsolete parts. Old or new, if you have a firearm that needs attention, Gunworks can probably fix it, solve it, coat it, and make it work. If you're living in Down East Maine, come by the shop for a visit. We're located on Route 1 in Harrington. If you live elsewhere, you can reach us by going to the website www.downeastgunworks.com or call in the shop at area code 207-483-2175. If you found this video helpful or interesting, please leave me a comment and rate the video. If you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you'll always know when I've posted something new. And thanks again for watching.